The coronavirus is now becoming a global threat. We continue to highlight African American history during Black History Month, and ransomware is becoming more and more common in our lives. Mr. Lewis will help give us some insights on protecting our digital lives. Today, Thursday, February 6, 2020. EVTV starts now. Welcome to Eagle Vision for Thursday, February 6, 2020. I'm Sarah Cavazos, and today's top story highlights the coronavirus as it is aggressively spreading across the globe.
Developers behind the popular smartphone game Plague Inc. are trying to put a damper on their own viral success, amid a surge in interest related to the coronavirus outbreak spreading from China in recent weeks. The game challenges users to infect and ultimately wipe out all human life on Earth, using the realistic transmission and mutation mechanics of various diseases. Each game starts with an infection in one country, and users spread that infection by mutating the disease to add transmission vectors and symptoms. The game has been a top performer on the App Store and Google Play for years, but its popularity has spiked amid fears of the coronavirus that was first reported in Wuhan, China. The developer Endemic Creations wrote in a public statement that to remember that Plague Inc. is a game, not a scientific model, and that the current outbreak is a very real situation which is impacting a huge number of people. Plague Inc. has been applauded by the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. However, Endemic says people shouldn't take that to mean it's a substitute for the World Health Organization and other public health organizations. Coronavirus Plague Inc. memes have been spread widely online since the outbreak, and some users have claimed to use the game as a simulator.
Ransomware is becoming more and more common as we continue to be more reliant on technology. Mr. Lewis met with a local expert on the topic a few weeks ago.
What's up? We're here today with Carter Stringfield. Carter works for Goodwin PC. They are one of the premier companies in the area that handles computers and security. Today we're talking about security. Carter, tell us exactly what ransomware is. Get a little bit closer to the mic. What is ransomware?
So ransomware is where an attacker or somebody sends a virus and encrypts all your data. So what that may look like is all your files will have different characters or just be completely encrypted to where you can't use them at all. And they hold it as ransom.
Now, it's becoming a bigger and bigger problem because in the past we think of hackers going after these big corporations, but so many of those corporations have been hardening their security, so now a lot of the attention has started to focus on just the common everyday user. So what do you guys suggest?
We suggest just making sure that you have one, virus protection, and two, just being smart with what you click on. That may be through an email or just making sure that you have content filtering turned on or just being smart with your everyday internet usage.
Right. So most people end up getting hacked because they allow the guys in. It's not that the hackers are sitting there and they just somehow magically infiltrate your computer. Typically, you open the door, you just don't realize you open the door. And yes. Is email about the biggest way that it happens?
Yeah, email, we see that the most. That may be like, hey, your account password's been changed, click on this link and update your password. And what you don't know is
you're actually giving them your password.
Exactly. So that's one big thing. Through text messages as well, you'd be surprised at the amount of like fake AT&T or Verizon texts that may come through. eBay for sure, PayPal, Amazon, Facebook, all those are big targets for resetting passwords for hackers to get access.
Ways that you can back up your files, because ransomware essentially takes control of your computer and then you're supposed to pay, sometimes even through the dark web, a ransom in order to get your files back. Traditionally, a lot of people have used the program Carbonite, which I used for years because Carter had turned me on to that. But now I'm using a different program that you suggest. Tell me about it.
So Crash Plan's a great opportunity to use for backing up. It's similar to Carbonite, but it does the same file folder backup. So what that looks like is, in case you do get encrypted, it has versioning, so you can go back and pull those files from your backups. Because if you've waited until you have ransomware to back up your files,
it's too late. All right, and if all of that sounds like gibberish to you, basically, CrashPlan is a piece of software that would essentially work like the cloud works on your phone, backing up your photos and your pictures for you. You just put the client or the software on your computer, and then every time you make changes throughout the day on your computer, they see that and they back that up, correct?
Yep.
And what's great about CrashPlan is they also allow you to back up all of your external hard drives that are hooked to the computer as well, which is a huge game changer for any of you who might have large libraries that you don't have on your local hard drive as well. Now, tell me what malware is, because even I don't understand exactly what malware is.
So malware is a type of virus. That's kind of what you hear. Mainly it's something that infects your computer. So it may not exactly encrypt all your data, but it could be anything from a Trojan virus or anything that comes in and just either someone's looking at all your files or watching what you're doing through a webcam or anything along those lines.
Okay. Again, there's software that you can use to protect yourselves from malware. What would you suggest?
There's a lot of different things on the market. WebRoot is a great one. A lot of people use Norton or Kaspersky, but mainly WebRoot. Internet security is a great one to go with.
Okay, awesome. Lastly, a lot of Americans are now using strictly smartphones, and most students are typically using smartphones. We're starting to see more and more things creep up into smartphones as well, and you mentioned a little earlier that text messages are another way that hackers are starting to get in. So tell us a little bit about the vulnerabilities of the smartphone.
Yeah, with smartphones, it's just like most people have their email on their smartphone, pay all their bills or all their accounts with Facebook. One thing that you can do with that is two-factor authentication. So say for Facebook, whenever you log in, it'll send you a text and you can verify that login. Also with text messages, if you get a random text from AT&T or somebody asking, hey, update your password, more than likely it's probably not legit. Or if they're asking, hey, click on this link or check out this video, if you don't expect a video from one of your friends, you may just want to call them first before opening it.
Right. Somebody that you haven't talked to in 5 years says, hey, you're in this video. That has been circulating Facebook quite recently, so that's definitely a red flag. All right, so basically, CrashPlan is a great option for you to look at for backing up your files. For those of you who don't want to take the time or think that it's too much work, it literally took me 5 minutes, I think, to set it up. You put in a credit card. If you're wondering about the cost, I feel like it's about $10 a month, something like that. It was not very unreasonable at all, especially considering that you can rest at night knowing that all of your pictures and all of your life is being backed up safely. So that's a good way to go. Norton and what was the other shop? WebRoot are good options to protect your computer and your Mac, because it's just a myth that Macs can't get viruses. There are viruses that can strike Macs as well. So back all of that up, stay safe, and if you'd like more information, Google it, because you can find all kinds of things on Google, right?
Yeah.
We headed to the halls to ask you guys about ways to protect your digital lives. So, Ms. Pappert, what software do you use to protect your computer from viruses?
Well, here at the school, I trust this school. The DeSoto County has software in place to protect against viruses. And at home, I just keep an eye out for suspicious emails and things that might come in. You know, we use Macs, and they don't get as many viruses.
So, do you ever think about viruses?
I do think about viruses when sometimes you'll get an email and you won't open it because it's a suspicious email. So I generally think more about viruses when I'm in my email, because that's apparently how they come into your system.
Okay, so let me ask you this. What would you do if, let's just say, a virus was in your computer and you lost all your pictures or important documents, files? What would you do?
I would start taking more pictures and I would redo those documents, because that's all you can do. If you lose it, you lose it.
Oh, you heard that? If you lose it, you lose it. What software do you use, if you use any, to protect your computer from viruses?
I use Kaspersky's package, and I have the total package: password protector, password storage, computer software. It does it all. In fact, it's important. Look what I got this morning. I got a notification of 17 data breaches. So it's important to have some sort of protection out there so you know what's going on.
Do you ever think about viruses?
I do think about viruses quite often, so I don't click on links in my email if I don't know who it is, especially school email teachers.
And let's just say, what would you do if your pictures were lost or important documents due to viruses?
I would literally cry. In fact, a couple years ago, I had a hard drive stolen out of my car that had thousands of pictures. So it's not fun to have stuff not stored somewhere safe.
Today I'm here with RJ. So RJ, what software do you use to protect your phone from viruses?
I use the hotspot shield. Janars and Jalen.
So, what do you guys use to protect your computers or phones from viruses?
VPN. RJ. Pool Steve.
So, what do you guys use to protect your phone or computer from viruses?
And VPN.
Hey. What are we doing? What are you talking about?
We're doing an interview.
For what?
For EVTV.
Is that more important than my class right now?
Ask your students.
It really is. No cap.
During the month of February, Eagle Vision will be taking a look at African Americans who've made an impact on our society and culture.
Samuel L. Jackson, born December 21st, 1948, was raised in Chattanooga, Mississippi, and graduated from Morehouse College, a historically black college. Lived under his grandma's roof until his mom joined him at age 10. Samuel L. Jackson initially majored in marine biology at Morehouse College. He was acting in small plays and didn't really get his big break until he was 40 years old and played the character Mr. Senior Love Daddy on the movie Do the Right Thing. Has a net worth of $220 million and starred in about 131 movies such as Captain Marvel, The Avengers, The Shaft, and much more. He is famous for playing the role Nick Fury in The Avengers.
It's now time for today's birthdays.
Happy birthday to Ruby Barth, Cameron Broldry, Sydney Harris, Rashawn Hatcher,
Kamaya Jones, Zakiah Jones, Cherish Martin, Christian Mayfield, and Ariel Phillips.
Happy birthday! It is now time for today's announcements. Pay attention, we're moving fast. Track meeting will be held this afternoon at 3 in the multipurpose room. Applications for ECE are now available in room C8. All applications will be checked for discipline and attendance. After applications are turned in, interviews will be scheduled. After interviews are complete, a list of students accepted to the ECE program will be posted in C8 and in front of the library. The Career Tech West application process is now open. The state-of-the-art Career Tech has a number of interesting trades and vocational programs, giving students credits and the chance for technical training off campus during school hours. Application process is now open till March 6th. You can access the applications by logging into the county's website and clicking CTC. Seniors, take your college acceptance letters and any scholarship offers to the counselor's office for copies to be made. Prom will be May 2nd. Deadline to turn in prom guest request forms is March 4th. The tickets will be $55. The deadline to pay is April 17th. That's it for today's episode here at Horn Lake, where better students always growing and expecting more. Stay tuned for your lunch menus and athletic schedules. We'll see you here tomorrow. Have a fantastic day.